Before we get into the usual book review formalities, let me just say, yes, this book made me tear up. I think when I pulled this book out of the TBR mystery box for the next book I was going to read, I thought, this could be a nice light read, nice change from some of the heavier stuff I've been reading recently. And none of you warned me. Now, of course, there were some nice and light bits in the story, but man, this one made me feel something. What up, fiction fan? Welcome to Down to Read. My name is Steven, and in this video, we're going to review Fredrik Backman's novel, A Man Called Ove. Now, I may not still have that pronunciation completely correct, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot closer to Ove in Swedish than it is to Ove, which is the way I've been saying it up to now. So, there you go. This book was first published in Swedish as En man som hette Ove in 2012 by Forum. In this video, as always for these reviews, welcome if this is your first time. We're going to go over a summary of the book, spoiler free. Then we're going to talk about the things that I liked, the things that weren't for me, and finally we'll give it a rating out of 5 stars. Now, if this book achieves a 5-star banger status, we'll do a 5-star bonus wrap up. Ove is a grumpy old curmudgeon of a man who's very stuck in his ways, and he has strong opinions of his fellow humans, most of which he thinks are morons. He lives in a neighborhood with strict rules, which he staunchly enforces, and he has some very strong principles, many of which were instilled upon him from the way he was brought up and also from his many life experiences. He is not afraid to speak his mind, which comes across as abrasive to the characters he's interacting with.
Den här kön, den börjar bakom mig. Jaha.
But to us as readers, these interactions are generally pretty amusing. Like this one where he blocks a person driving a luxury car from getting into a prime parking space in the car park. Pretty low stakes, but yeah, pretty fun. There are sections of this book that take place in the past, and we see how Ove has formed the opinions that he has today, such as how he dislikes and is intimidated by the white shirts, the bureaucrat types who he sees as an unstoppable force, or why he views people negatively that are drawn to luxury items such as an Audi when a Saab is just as good and more practical. Now, a minor spoiler coming up because this isn't revealed on the back of the book, so if you don't want any spoilers at all, maybe pause and skip to the chapter of things that I liked. But this is a pretty critical part of the story, so even though it's not revealed on the back of the book, it does happen quite early, and I feel like it's still in that non-spoiler territory. So, spoiler coming now. Spoiler! Beneath the exterior of this grumpy old man is a man grieving the loss of his wife, which, like I said, isn't alluded to at all in the back of this book, so you can see how this threw me. On top of this, Ove has recently lost his job, and has really lost these 2 key purposes of his life, and is wondering if it's even worth continuing his life at all. So yeah, not quite the lighthearted read that I was after. But things change a bit for Ove when a family moves in next door, a family comprising a husband and wife, Patrick and Parvane, and their 2 kids. Parvane is an Iranian immigrant, which is relevant because Ove isn't a big fan of the way the world is changing, but Parvane makes it her mission to form a friendship with Ove, and also looks to him for quite a bit of help, including some driving lessons, which go a bit shaky.
Om kopplingen går upp så går gasen ner.
Men jag gör ju det!
Låt kopplingen gå upp.
Jag klarar inte.
Du har kommit hit ända från Iran. Flytt från krig och alla möjliga satans helveten. Du har lärt ett nytt språk, skaffat dig en utbildning och en försörjning. Och så är du gift med en odugling. Då kan du fan lära dig att köra bil också. Men det är inte hjärnkirurgi vi talar om.
At the same time as this family moving in, there's a mangy neighborhood cat that takes a bit of a liking to Ove, which at first Ove resists, but then he begins to look out for the cat, at least a little bit.
Get in the box. Get in the box.
These 2 things start to give Ove a bit of purpose, and maybe it is worth him trying to continue on and put that rope away.
Oh, can I help you with that, sir?
You think I don't know how to cut rope?
While there's a bit of a plot of the white shirts trying to disrupt Uve's neighborhood and Ove rebelling against that, the main point of this story, or at least for me, is seeing if Ove, a man struggling with such loss and who's so stuck in his ways, can find some purpose by trying to help people in this new, changing world. Uve's view of the world. While probably a bit too jaded and negative for me, I did find myself agreeing with a lot of what he said, or thought, at least to some extent. I don't know, maybe that says more about me. Maybe I'm a bit of a grumpy old man. Also, I thought it was interesting how Backman explores this theme of people forming sweeping generalizations of others based on their background or the type of car that they drive, all from some personal previous experience that they've had. This had me getting a bit introspective, like maybe I've been too quick to judge people in the past based on very little. Well, except for Audi drivers, I mean. Those people are the worst. His relationship with the cat.
And now he's moved in.
In many ways, the cat seems to parallel Ove, as they're both struggling to find a way to fit in this changing world that's dealt them some pretty rough cards.
Meow.
The flashbacks to Uve's experience with, actually, not sure, I'm still holding this. The flashbacks to Uve's experience working with his dad when he was much younger.
Höll jag till på pappas jobb.
Hej, pappa!
Hej, Ove! Han sa att det var tryggast så.
Or, in the slightly more recent past, his good and bad experiences with his wife, Sonia. Through all of these changes, the ups and downs, he's really stuck to his principles and the person he is. Of course, we should all be looking to try and adapt and evolve a bit, but it doesn't mean we have to turn our backs on who we truly are. Finally, the way that Ove continues to communicate with his wife and speak to her on a regular basis. I think any of us who have struggled with some loss in the past can really relate to these passages, and they were really moving. The plot that I alluded to earlier of the white shirts disrupting Uve's neighborhood takes a while to get going. I wouldn't exactly call this a page turner or a book that I couldn't put down, but I was always looking forward to picking it back up again. I give A Man Called Ove 5 stars. So you know what that means. Hip hop hooray, Ove.
Yo.
Hooray, Ove.
Check it. DTR, If I said this book didn't have me crying, well I guess then I'd be lying. Easy to see why this book is in the top rank. So popular, the movie starred Tom Hanks. Well, Rolf Lassgård in the Swedish version. Will Ove like his neighbor, who is Persian? Or the ever-present neighborhood cat in his kitchen or his sob is where it sat. Ove still struggling with the loss of his wife. Makes all reflect on who we've lost in our life. From laughing, crying, I've rarely felt a lifer. Now let me just leave you with Audi drivers.
Have you read A Man Called Ove? Did you love it like I did? Let us know in the comments.
Be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more fun content like this one. As you can tell, we don't take ourselves too seriously around here on DTR. And as always,
Thanks for watching.
zhoosh!